Aloha everybody, Kaiwaza with you. Welcome back to my channel and a little bit of a video, different kind of a video today. I'm just having my, it's not a tropical cocktail in my glass this evening. But I guess it is exotic nonetheless. It's a Chinese detox tea. That's kind of exotic. I'm cleansing now. We're cleansing. So this video has been, I have to say, there are a couple of videos that have been on my heart for a long time that I haven't done. I'm not exactly sure why. Well, I know why with the other one, but this one, I don't know why I've waited so long, but it's been on my heart for a long time. And I have mentioned it in a couple of videos in the past, but never really talked about it. So I'm just going to do this video tonight because it's just time to do it. And that is, I have 4 ideas. You could consider it 3 or 4 ideas, and I'm very serious, for an Exotica album, for that there are many contemporary Exotica acts out there recording great stuff. And I have 4 ideas, 4 albums that I really would hope that somebody does. I really hope they do them. I don't know if it's because they've never thought of it. I don't know what's going on, but I just want to put that out there. I also have a feeling maybe a lot of people will end up watching this video that are not subscribers, that don't watch him, they have no idea who I am or whatever. So let me just briefly, pretext what I'm going to tell you. Just a little info about myself. I do live in Hawaii. I've lived here since 1981, moved here when I was 19. I have literally been collecting records, Hawaiian records, my whole life before I was 5 years old, and I knew I wanted to live here. I have been collecting Hawaiian vinyl my entire life, and Exotica vinyl, of course, as well. Yeah, and decades ago, I worked at Hawaiian Radio, KCCN AM, as on air and as a DJ and as program director for a while, at a time when it was the only all Hawaiian commercial radio station on the island of Oahu. Past that, I lived on the mainland for a little while again. I did some Hawaiian shows on the mainland in both South Carolina and Oregon on the radio. And now I'm retired from all that, but I do have a hobby radio station called Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio, which is on Live 365, Hawaiian and Exotica music from my collection of over 2,600 Hawaiian vinyl records. You can listen to that anytime. So that's just a little brief background of, I know I'm not like a known entity in the musical world or something, but I'm not completely coming out of left field with these ideas. I'm very serious about them. And it is my sincere hope that somebody out there that's in one of these Exotica bands or knows people, whatever, will share this or get this out there to the right people, because I would love to see this happen. Just say thank you, Kaiwaza, on the liner notes. That's all. And and send me a copy of an album if you do it, please. CD or vinyl, whatever. I'm like from the old school where, if you had a radio station back in the day, like you got complimented copies of all the records that came out. I mean, any Hawaiian releases, whatever, they all sent it to you to play. And boy, that just does not happen like that anymore. I mean, because I do have a radio station that plays Hawaiian music and Exotica music, and I don't get no promo, nothing. So it'd be a nice way of thanking me if you happen to use one of these ideas. Anyway, and also let me preface it by saying I do apologize if somebody has done this, because I don't keep up with everything new. I'm very much about the vintage. I collect a lot of the vintage, both in Exotica and Hawaiian. I probably keep up with modern day Exotica a little bit better than I do modern day Hawaiian, oddly, but I don't really keep up with everything. I don't have everything. I don't get everything that's new. I do get some things. I do follow some, but so I apologize if somebody out there has already done what I'm gonna share and I just don't know about it, but please enlighten me if it happens to be the case. So I have 4 ideas. I mean, you could say it's 3. I say it's 4. Number 1, Okay, the first idea, this is very kind of personal to me. I understand if maybe some of the other people out there might be like, I don't know about that one. But me, I would love to see it. And I think it's a great idea for someone to do. And that is an album that is thematically all about the French artist Paul Gauguin in Tahiti, where he spent a lot of his creative life as far as painting and artwork. I'm not going to get all into Paul Gauguin's story, although that is the attraction. I have a tremendous love of Paul Gauguin that's developed later in life. I didn't really know all that much about him when I was younger, but wow, later in life, I've learned more about him. There are a lot of books out there, lots of information about Paul Gauguin and his paintings that you can have access to. And I think it would just be a wonderful album because he is really not a person that inspired modern exoticism, but if you want to go back to the 1800s, he was really one of the people that brought the whole idea of a South Seas paradise to Europe. I mean, it was kind of a new concept for them. He was inspired by a book, The Marriage of Loti, which was just crazy romantic and whatever. Like I said, I'm not going to get into his story. I need to do a separate video about that because I love Paul Gauguin and it's been very impactful on me personally. And I need to do a video about him and why I love him so much. But suffice it to say, there's a lot of books about Gauguin, his art. There's a lot of, I have a lot of books that are his own journals, you know, his own letters to people. I have several books about that. Where he's writing about his experiences, how real all of them were, who knows. And then all of the beautiful, beautiful artwork that eventually just inspired so many people of the life of the noble savage, or whatever you want, however you want to phrase it, of the people of Tahiti. And there's so many paintings, you know, so many paintings, wood blocks that he did, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful stuff that's about his vision of Tahiti, of the time and what it meant to him, and in his own right, he's a fascinating person. I can really imagine if you wanted to do like a physical CD, a very beautiful presentation of something about you know, Gauguin's Tahiti, or, you know, the Gauguin of the South Seas, or something about, like his, the journal Noah is really great that he did have published in his lifetime. It has poetry and legends and great wood blocks and things in it. So much material, and the paintings themselves, of course, that could inspire, or you could rework original compositions you already have into a thematic, you know, Paul Gauguin's Tahiti, South Seas Dream, Tahitian Madness, whatever, of de Gauguin, you know. I had a sort of tragic life. He's kind of a scoundrel, but it's part of what I love about him. But anyway, you know, laudanum and there's so much material that you could write songs about, and beautiful tone poems and mysterious things and weird, like, spiritual ideas and things he had there. So I would love to see it. And if you're, like I said, if you're going to do a physical CD, you could do a beautiful little booklet that went, you know, along it, that had some of these stories and artworks, obviously not copyright anymore, quite old. So that's an idea. Idea number one. And like, I know it's very personal to me, so I can understand somebody else thinking, I don't know, are people really into Paul Gauguin anymore? I mean, I would think, I don't know, like, our tiki people, are y'all into Paul Gauguin, or is that kind of a not really in the tiki realm? I mean, it should be. Geez, he's like the godfather of the idea. Anyway, idea number two. Now, these next ones are definitely ones that I'm like, why has nobody ever done this? Okay. I don't understand why nobody has ever recorded this Exotica album that I'm going to put out here now as an idea. But, and I hope somebody does. Please, please do it. The Nutcracker. Everybody knows the Nutcracker, right? Worldwide known piece, ballet, worldwide known ballet. I mean, yeah, we all know the couple of songs that are always done like the Nutcracker Suite, but there's a whole ballet. And no, I wouldn't expect you to do the entire ballet, but I mean, I can totally, because the nature of what the Nutcracker is and the story, it's already kind of exotic because there's already these pieces in it that are of an exotic foreign nature that could very easily be transposed and rewritten or whatever into a much more simplified arrangement, obviously just for a small Exotica combo, whatever, different instruments. It's been done many times. I mean, the Nutcracker songs from the Nutcracker Suite have been, you know, God knows, recorded and redone 100 million times by different kinds of popular groups and classical groups and Christmas records and whatever, that it's been done and redone. But I just kind of think, you know, there's so much exotic music already in it. I have the Arab dance as an obvious choice of the Nutcracker that I do know of 2 recordings of the Arab dance. Gene Rains and Mr. Ho's I don't know how to say that. Exotic Orchestra, Exotic. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, they both have done. They did Arab dance, but like, there's so much material within the Nutcracker Suite for great exotic songs. The Russian dance, the Chinese dance, the, where are my notes? There's a lot. The Sugar Plum Fairies, right? Dance of the Flutes, the Dance of the Snowflakes, the Waltz of the Flowers, very well known. These could all be reworked into like Exotica numbers and just using the main themes, you know? And my idea, of course, don't make it a Christmas album. I know that would be an easy trap to fall into. Don't make it Christmassy, like exotic Christmas Nutcracker. No, just Exotica Nutcracker. You know, the birds, the waterfalls, the percussion, the xylophones, everything, steel guitars, whatever you want to use. Women's voices. Ooh, you know, it would be so awesome to hear an Exotica version of the Nutcracker. And you could call it the Coconut Cracker, or the Macadamia Nutcracker, or the Kukui Nutcracker, or something else. And if you didn't have enough material from the Nutcracker, obviously you could fill the album out with other imaginary dances that might have been in the Nutcracker had it been an exotic thing, like, you know, the Balinese dance and the you know, Madagascar dance and the Tahitian dance and whatever. Like, you could throw all these other things in there that could complete it. To me, no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And I am literally surprised that nobody has ever done an Exotica version of the Nutcracker. So I put that out there as my second idea. Love to see it.
When Bali High calls to you, when the spell of the islands overtakes you, there's only one place to go, and that is to Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio on live365.com. There, Mr. Kaiwaza shares with you a lifelong collection of vintage and retro Hawaiian and Exotica records, playing 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Relax your soul, unwind, and enjoy the sounds of Polynesia in the past. Join us on Hawaiian Hi-Fi Radio on Live 365. You'll find the link directly below in the description box. I hope to see you there. Let's share a zombie or a Mai Tai.
Third idea, kind of related to the second, could be combined to make one, but following in the same vein, in the classical musical world, there is a lot of exotic music. There's a lot of music that over the centuries has been composed that already has an exotic theme to it that you could just simplify and adapt to, you know, the popular idiom or whatever, jazz, exotica idiom, as was done all the time. I mean, people have always taken classical music themes and made popular, you know, in the space age bachelor pad era, I've always taken classical themes and turned them into like pop songs or arrangements that are goofy or just simplified and on a different instrument than it was originally played. And a lot of times they don't, obviously they don't take the entire piece, they take the main theme from it and repeat it a couple of times and maybe write a cute bridge or something and repeat it again. You could totally do that. You could totally do that. But there's so much music from the classical realm that is beautiful that I could just hear it in my head when I hear it, like how it could be done in an exotica arrangement that would be so beautiful. Things like, well, Scheherazade is really obvious, music from Scheherazade. Bazet's The Pearl Divers or The Pearl Fishers, that opera that's set in Ceylon, the song from that, it's so beautiful, it's so pretty. Debussy's Nocturnes. Debussy did so much music that was very exotic, and the Nocturnes, like, why has nobody ever taken any of the Nocturnes with the siren singing so eerily and beautifully, like, and turned that into an exotica piece? You wouldn't have to do very much. It was already pretty exotic, but you know, the instrumentation would have to be changed to instruments that you would have in an exotica band, and a female wordless duo or trio or something. It would be so amazingly beautiful. Nights in the Garden of Spain, you know, could be Nights in the Gardens of Fiji or whatever. The Night on Bald Mountain, In the Hall of the Mountain King would be a great number to rework, like in the Hall of the Volcano Goddess or something. You know, you could rename them, obviously referring to what they originally were, and you're going to be altering them a little bit, of course, and simplifying them. One of the super beautiful ones, again, every time I hear it, I think, oh my gosh, why has somebody ever done, from Ibsen or Ibsen, I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce his name, the Norwegian composer, the Peer Gynt suite, Anitra's Dance. If you've never heard that, it's gorgeous. Go listen to it. Solvang Song also. These pieces could be easily adapted, I think, to an exotica combo that would make an absolutely beautifully themed album release, you know. And if you wanted to, you could combine it, I think, because it is classical, with the Nutcracker, if you wanted to, and then do some of these other ones, or just as two totally separate releases. I don't have any cute ideas for the title of a classically themed exotica album using the classical themes. I don't know, probably use one of the titles of the pieces, you know, or something. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't do anything gimmicky or stupid like, you know, the classics go tiki or something. Like, I hate that kind of stuff. Like, no, it's make it gorgeous and alluring and exotic, and, you know, yeah, use a title of, you know, Polynesian Nocturnes or something, you know. Anyway, that would be my third idea. And again, another one that I'm like, why has nobody done this? In fact, I very seldom, I think, have ever even heard an exotica band, even in the past ones, original ones, taking a piece of classical music and redoing it in an exotica theme, a simplified exotica theme with, you know, birds and sound effects and stuff, because the popular groups, popular orchestras were doing it all the time at the time. They were always doing that. Somebody out there should do that. Okay, and my last idea, again, this one truly to me is a no-brainer. It's another one that I'm like, how is it 2023 and no exotica performer in the past or in the present has done this album? How is it that it has not happened? And that is an exotica version of the songs from the musical South Pacific, the Rodgers and Hammerstein music South Pacific. it's a no-brainer. I mean, all of us that collect Hawaiian records and Exotica records, a lot of us have South Pacific records in our collection. And we know it's not Exotica music. I mean, but it's the theme, you know, based off of James Michener's Tales of the South Pacific. South Pacific was one of the most successful Broadway musicals of all time. Everybody knew the songs from South Pacific, you know. Younger than springtime and I, la, da, da, da. Some enchanted evening, you know, this nearly was mine. La, da, 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 da. Like there's so many great songs in it. Cockeyed Optimist, Dites-moi. And of course, everybody knows Bali High, right? That's the big song as far as Hawaiian and Exotica music goes that came out of South Pacific and popular music probably as well as Bali High. But, you know, been there, seen it, done it. And of course, you should include it in the album. I mean, Bali High, there's a gazillion versions of that out by everyone in the universe. But nobody has... Les Baxter, I have to say, Les Baxter did do an album of songs from the South Pacific and exotic arrangements, but it's really one of his least exotic albums, and it's slightly exotic, but not that exotic. I mean, I'm talking like, you know, the bird calls, the ocean waves, the waterfalls, the excessive percussion and vibraphones and, you know, oohing and awing wordless female singers. The whole 9 yards. Like, you could make it absolutely, and there's so many recordings of it. I have a million recordings of South Pacific, but they're all, I mean, I'm just showing you a couple, but they're all, this one even used Paul Gauguin on the cover. They were on the right track with that one, right? But nobody has done in the past, other than Les Baxter's, not super exotic. Nobody's done an really exotic version of the songs from South Pacific. And I suppose if you didn't, you know, want to do an entire, all the songs from South Pacific, I mean, I suppose there are some other, I'd have to think about it, but there are some other show tunes from plays that maybe have a tropical theme or something that you could throw in there also. Or of course you could always throw in original compositions. And that is something I should say about all of these ideas, that I have all four of these ideas, is they absolutely could, well, Paul Gauguin would probably be 100%, but all of these could include original compositions that you have, or songs that you've been working on, or, you know, that you've been lying around and you could go, oh, I could adapt this and make this work in this album. And, you know, I would love to see original compositions included in all of these projects if they are done. I would love it, because I love to see new material and original compositions. Love it, love it. A Paul Gauguin, you know, Tahitian Dream CD of all original compositions would be amazing. But anyway, any of these ideas, you could obviously incorporate your own compositions into them as well. So that's it. That is what this video is about. I'm just getting it off my chest finally, officially, and in one somewhat coherent video. These are 4 ideas for 4 thematic CDs, releases, albums, vinyl, whatever that you want to do, that I would really love to see an Exotica act of the present day, 2023, when I'm filming this, put out there, because there are plenty of great Exotica acts out there that are doing great stuff, and I would love for them to do one of these ideas. Because I think it would be such a great contribution to the genre. And I think all of those ideas would sell very well. I think they would be popular. I think they would work totally. I think people would buy them. Yeah, so that's what I have to say. Subscribe if you would like to see more videos. I do have a video, I didn't mention, but I do have a video series of me showing all 2,600 of my Hawaiian records, one at a time, talking about them. That's in my, on my channel. There's a playlist of, it's like 300 videos. It took me 4 years to do it, if you want to sit through that and watch that, I did that video series. And don't forget my Hawaiian radio station, Hawaiian Hi-Fi, which is on Live 365. That'll be linked down below. So, thanks for watching, and please share your comments. Absolutely, I'd love to get comments down below, and I would love, love, love for you, if you are not an Exotica band member, or yourself, if you know anyone who is, or anyone who's involved in this industry, I would love for you to share this video. I would love for them to be exposed to these ideas. Maybe they've never thought about it, and they're like, oh my gosh, we've been looking around for an idea for a project. This one would be great. Just, you know, thank me on the liner notes and send me a copy. That's what I would like. Otherwise, free ideas, okay? Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you around in the next video. Have a good night.